No nsia baha eye Adom TV anwumre mamu adwe brason ese de anwumre no nsia kasebo no ebre o mamu sem eni aman hodo so de ayaboaboa no na eni animu no Chief Justice get to Tokono e de abasobo mu ode na ma IGP e wadwumaden a wabo e wo ne bra wodie ese aposifo nyina ehene anaso mo sadom eno chinsu no photosafo de mo man Ghana de atudwa ese sika 220 million Ghana cedis eno mayidi ato no mo de kobo manfo a akosombo dam ensure no esese wo mo ajapade na yede wo akọ mental health authority mpanyifo anya daje na mental health ho sensem ni ade bia wo mabubu mu ede bakan kasam a wosusu se no ebeboa ama doctor fo no ene omanfo e wosa sinto no edi ekita ho yie ensem ni bi eka we ho na nwumre enchemu ni nyina no mede brodon hwere ya edi animu yi edwadie agudie apomoden na man hodo so nsem nyina eka ho bi medinchemu no ebema wo edi amegeso ene abena pokoa ahwenne mebasisia yen sensem na se emawa na ye fiti ewo Chief Justice na kachi wodi abasobe mu oden ama Inspector General of Police Dr. George Akufu-Dampare echese na dwuma wodie ebre obetina so ese IGP no asoni abroso a ehyen kran emadachi dwumadie ene bambonsem
Ghana temuafo panyini Justice Gertrude Araba Isaba Tokono echwemua Posi dom sahine George Akufu-Dampare eden sesaye aba posi adwuma ekuo ni mu pa ya temuafo adwuma no so eka ho bi so manfo bekaye a wode posi dom sahine George Akufu-Dampare ekotena ad hoc committee enim isanse enipa bibo ne ho po so pese wo yinifra konwa so eno ena Ghana temuafo panyini kasa ya wone posi adwuma ekuo ni kodi nhyiemu ene wodi tu dwase enipa binom a opese wo hwe ne mabone pe ye wo posi adwuma ekuo ni mu ene ehunu papa ye adwuma pa wo ye wodi tu nenim se wonkoso a enya adwuma pa emu o my Ghana.
Thank you for visiting us. I must say that I have found your leadership of the police extremely inspirational. I think it's only a very blind person who would not have noticed how much you have achieved in such a short time to rebrand the image of the police, to reinforce what we ought to have known from the beginning, that the police is a source of integrity, is a source of protection, is a source of help, rather than a source of destruction.
Nanu si yepe ena posi dom sahine George Akufu-Dampare editu just say na so ye no enye na adwen se mfomso a waye ena wo ba be yi ano na emom afutuo bia ebeboa mu adwuma wo ye no etimi akonkan no obetie.
We've come to one realization that we need two important things to make the difference we want to make for becoming the best institution in the country and a reference point for the rest of Africa and beyond. And those two things, we think that is a sense of guilt and a sense of shame. When we have these two senses, it means that it helps us to know the things that we are doing right and the things that we are doing wrong. And then with a sense of guilt, knowing that what we have done is wrong, and with shame associated with it, we may be mindful not repeating it next time.
Yentu asoma wana o my Ghana asrafo mudwuma ewo so nyame adom wo musa aka catamaran boat bia ebeboa ama mo bambo adwuma wo mo ye wo so no akwanimu efri Makama Engineering Company Limited ena edekoma wo
Ghana Navy woniama hodua omodi egu akwemu ehwese dwumadi a wodi ewonsu ahodo esoro no ebetimi akona nim na ye kama ninte no wo mu ensaka state of the art 20x8 catamaran boat yawe no Makama Engineering Company Limited enede ebema wo mu Abra Vice Admiral Setamuama ya ono eye Chief of the Defense Staff ekasa wo dwumadi no wase no ode asede modu emedwumaku ye nam se afidie ya bode ababedom wo mu no na osusu se no beboa amamu dwumadi a wodi wo my Ghana mu no akon kan no man ya hobampon sem no so etumi ayekama.
I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to Makama Engineering Company Limited for their incredible generosity, their commitment to providing the Navy with the state-of-the-art vessel is a powerful example of how business can contribute the safety and security of our nation. This act of benevolence is not just a one-time event, but a testament to the enduring partnership between the private sector and the military that helps our nation to thrive.
Enwachi, CEO, Emma Makhama Engineering Company Limited, Engineer Dr. Ebenezer Kakrahama, and so Chiremu Dintia, Womakoya Sadoi.
Donation ya yabeye, a dear shame crying, and Cynthia Bay, and say, Yashagana ha, say, just exactly today, and my 5 away, ewo is so because of both accidents. T. Misha, Sanya money in Ano, school for eco school, Umu, so. And Nkofo Ekwejuma ewo so ntia no so ka ho Ghana Navy so be here vessels boy ho ban for search and rescue operations and afi so one kasa support senia bebo yinso bo ho ban no hia boat
na yede wo ekọ from Antemu abegye ko motena se omototo mpanyefo be yadunu nson ya wo mo na obi akọfa nkrata so pese wo gina ewo MPP amanyoko ni mu no bako ena wo mayi na fra kansie no ma aduonu sia kan de mo nyina omokọ manim Thomas Michael Ajimai wo ma disqualify no
ena mo se enche MPP amanyoko no ede wo mo parliamentary primary sabahyehyɛ so ewo my Ghana money ntino amanyoko no vetting committee ezoto wo no ma wo mpɛsɛ mpiri de bra no ano na maneba efi south de yimpɛsɛ ne so betodwa ene se owura Thomas Michael Ajimai penyo nipa ototo na no wie no wampena no so betimi apremra hyebedwam de bra no ebi na emomo no impanyefo aduonu nsia ena wapene wo mo so ye no ntino wo betimi apremra hyebedwam akonwa no ebi ye mu nsia eyema na abra third vice national chairman ema MPP amanyoko no Osman Masaudu eni Adom kasi atwetwe nkomo no okire mu dintia Thomas Michael Ajimai wampene so se obetimi apremra hyebedwam de bra ewo sampeso no eso
and the law so e wo ho no say we are executives. We are executive member. No person will contest it. As a will rescue your listen no membership no. As a will cure Emma party no. Will cure Emma committee no. Say will be jina as now will be and take it over. We share nipa no resolution letter no one try or deep sa pie vetting room no. Ama onu anu constituency for no. Constituency executive no conform wa ha no. The laws that govern the vetting no. Omo de ba say when you dey on follow that restriction no on follow here now. Onu so on treasure letter no there. E kire say
the omo pane say ekronu bekoso aban no de developments beba
because we are one of the largest constituencies. They believe there's a lot of work, and because there's a lot of work, there's a need for much probing to prove the validity of the candidature, and I was so happy about it.
Yeah, the vetting was very, very, very successful. I mean, the committee, of course, they meant well for all of us, the candidates, very well.
And for to some for the ma o my Ghana Ken Oforiata EPM Womra Sebejafie, what dear to just or minor ayisika or pepe ahano any aduno Ghana sikamu and a decobo manfua a cosumbo dam in Surino a hawamo.
Riata ede afimpinu ni adunu na akwa humasika kotudwa mrahye de fie no okire se opese wototo o mayisika semunti adwumako awodoa ensha aban ase obeboa omanfo ede sika Ghana Cedi opepepe mienu ahyem sanso na you start initiative nso ode Ghana Cedi opepe ahanu ehyemu no de ama enyuma nketo ne adantemu na aboa amu adwuma no agina.
Mr. Speaker, channels would include the Development Bank of Ghana to increase the lending volume of the Development Bank of Ghana to 2 billion cedis for 2024. For GEZL to provide 350 million partial risk guarantees to leverage private sector participation in the agricultural sector. Government will also support DBG for fundraising of an additional $1 billion in 2024 to support their work. Mr. Speaker, the IFC, working with government, will pursue $500 million commitment of financing from the World Bank's IFC as a partner in Ghana's Mutual Prosperity Dialogue.
Wakwansra nwa adwuma nso ochire mu se December in Ghana initiative aban de aba no ebeboa pa masa panima abosumi yi omanfo efre chiche ne bencheye eba akwansra wo man mu betimi aba obayire bambom asanso abese nkane a ebeye adwuma na dweno nso obesiesie ni nyina.
Mr. Speaker, Ghana remains the preferred tourist destination in the sub-region. The steady stream of domestic and international tourists also requires dedicated spaces in cities to drive a night economy and tourism. As we promote December in Ghana initiatives, we'll also work towards enhancing security and the lightening infrastructure. A task force comprising public regulators and private sector actors has already been established.
Yaba dia kachiri bedibemao. Mami mawakwa ba na mena wase se ogusua ekame ho na yetoaso a na yewo emrase bedwafie se enne swafo na wono ehyo maisi kasem totoye so no kopie mu no wode atodwa se ankrankra dwadie ene enyuma wo mabiebie na ban no atoto nani ahye eye susudie bi a wo mo ehwe safie yebesi mu no oman no ebedru ho ene entimu ahodo bi a eka ho.
Wafo a ono na hwe Ghana sikasem so Ken Ofori ata kasa e wo mrahye edefa afi 2024 budget enhihye ya wo mo ede egu akwan mu no wode tudwa se aban no ede nhihye ahodo egu akwan se ne IMF nhihye ya wode ama oman Ghana se wo mo eni so no anamo a wo mo etu no wo mo etimi akwo nanim.
Mr. Speaker, based on the overall macroeconomic objectives and the medium-term targets, the following macroeconomic targets are set for the 2024 fiscal year. Overall real GDP growth of at least 2.8%, non-oil real GDP growth of at least 2.1%, end period inflation rate of 5.0%, primary balance on commitment basis of a surplus of 0.5% of GDP, and gross international reserve to cover not less than 3 months of imports. Mr. Speaker, the 2024 and medium-term fiscal framework has been prepared in line with the objectives and policy priorities of a 3-year IMF-supported PCPEC program. The primary balance on commitment basis is the fiscal anchor we are using to assess our fiscal effort.
Yegusua ejina efie hono ene wo sign to ja esaban no ede hyesepi no ene ebe no ebema aye wo mo a eyan krankra nyuma no wo sanso ankrankra fidi nyuma no wo ho ebe han wo ntine ato ahodo bi a na edida nyuma bi soro mo yidi efie hono mama wo ma ahohan ne de wo mo behunu bi pa.
Speaker, further to the above, the following reliefs have been prioritized for implementation. To extend, Mr. Speaker, the zero rate of VAT on locally manufactured African prints for 2 more years. Mr. Speaker, to waive import duties on import of electric vehicles for public transportation for a period of 8 years. Mr. Speaker, to waive import duties on semi-knocked down and completely knocked down electric vehicles imported by registered EV assembly companies in Ghana for a period of 8 years. Mr. Speaker, to extend zero rate of VAT on locally assembled vehicles for 2 more years. Mr. Speaker, to zero rate VAT on locally produced sanitary pads. Mr. Speaker, to grant import duty waivers for raw materials for the local manufacture of sanitary pads. Mr. Speaker, to grant exemptions on the importation of agricultural machinery equipment and inputs and medical consumables, raw materials for the pharmaceutical industry. Mr. Speaker, a VAT flat rate of 5% to replace the 15% standard VAT rate on all commercial properties will be introduced to simplify administration.
Abano ewo ehhye bia wo mode boa efiafia hodo ya yekase ohia buburo yi bia adokro wo pa ya de omudi mpomo nya yesika bia omode mo bosome abanyi chese wo mo ebetum wo ha mutichemu no aduonum eno no eye leap eye livelihood empowerment against poverty.
livelihood empowerment against poverty abinded by sebeye omanfo wa winyi no obetimi dia so wasene eno ena Ghana photo samfo Ken Oforiata edo omanya kwa masika kotujo mrashebedwafie wo kire mu se Ghana aban ehye mu kena afi mu a wode sika Ghana cedi beye opepe ahanuni aduokro nwotwe 298 million aso afiefie empem ahasane aduonum 350,000 asene na wo hwe kwa isa fimpini aduonu nan so obeyire sa adwumadie mu pa ede aboa omanfo.
Mr. Speaker, we continue feeding grants for over 7,500 students in special schools and capitation grants to all public basic schools across the country. Additionally, registration fees of over 471,000 prospective candidates from public junior high school for the BCE were paid to guarantee that all candidates will sit for the examination. Mr. Speaker, support for beneficiaries of the LEAP program was sustained in
2020. Auditu just say enkosi ebobu sumi ni mafimpi ni aduonu miensa yi mono enipa opepedun sia 60 million ena wode won one sharp omdin si echibai mu a eye oman Ghana enipa dodo ho mu chichemu aduwotwe na so ye na ehwe kwan se ode nipa opepe aduonu ena be sharp omdin si echibai emu.
The National Health Insurance Scheme, Mr. Speaker, is now active with coverage of 60 million people, representing 80% of the targeted group. Efforts to integrate the Ghana card into the enrollment system are progressing steadily. Mr. Speaker, over 740 million has been invested to feed over 3.8 million pupils one hot meal a day in 10,000 of our public basic schools. In 2024, the program continued to provide meals to enhance basic school enrollment.
No egusua ede ehye egu akwanso ne sakraya hodo bi ehia se de be na ankrankra nyuma wo mayim no ebenya fama pa home na wo mo ho ahan wo ewo mo dwumadie no wo mo edwadie mu wei eyesusue bi asoafo a na wo komrase bedwafie wode kotudwa
Samfo Ken Oforiata ede afimpinu ni aduonu na akwa masika kotudwa mrashebedwafie no wo kire se opese wototo oman sika semunti adwumakwa wodo a ensha ban ase obeboa omanfo ede sika Ghana cedi opepepe mienu ahyem sanso na you start initiative nso wode Ghana cedi opepe ahanu ehyemu no de ama enyuma nketwa ne adantemu na aboa amu adwuma no agina.
Mr. Speaker, channels would include the Development Bank of Ghana to increase the lending volume of the Development Bank of Ghana to 2 billion cedis for 2024. For GEZL to provide 350 million partial risk guarantees to leverage private sector participation in the agricultural sector. Government will also support DBG for fundraising of an additional $1 billion in 2024 to support their work. Mr. Speaker, the IFC, working with government, will pursue the 500 million commitment of financing from the World Bank's IFC as a partner in Ghana's Mutual Prosperity Dialogue.
Wa kwansra nwa adwuma nso okire mu se December in Ghana initiative abande aba no ebeboa pa masa panima abosumi yi omanfo efre chiche ni bencheye eba akwansra wo mai mu betimi aba obeyire bambom asanso abese nkane a ebeye adwuma na dwono nso obesiesie ni nyina.
Mr. Speaker, Ghana remains the preferred tourist destination in the sub-region. The steady stream of domestic and international tourists also requires dedicated spaces in cities to drive a night economy and tourism. As we promote December in Ghana initiatives, we'll also work towards enhancing security and the lightening infrastructure. A task force comprising public regulators and private sector actors has already been.
Kuma womo ewo emrashebedwafie dia tudwa se ne nsema fotosanfo de bekenkan ye enhyehyɛ fasika sem ho de ba ye ene budget na kasa omaye akoma bosika ne nyina no wose hwinim a kyese wose Ghana fo nya hoboa ese 2025 afini mu de ahokyere pa eno manfo behunu.
Stamp duty is going up. They have also informed us that they are going to introduce a modified tax regime, which simply means is that an informal sector income tax is going to go up. Again, they have informed us that they are introducing a new VAT flat rate where businesses, a new VAT flat rate to cover commercial properties, where businesses will be deprived from the opportunity of setting their input VAT to their output VAT. They are saying going forward is going to be only 5%. Ladies and gentlemen, the legacy of this finance minister and our vice president is there for us to see. But let me list some of the legacies that they are going to leave beside. This finance minister is leaving behind an economy that is bankrupt. All what he knows to do is to overborrow to benefit his personal businesses and his cronies. We know that he has and he will be remembered for destroying Ghanaian businesses, particularly those businesses that has to do with his rivals. He has destroyed the Ghanaian economy and brought over our financial sector on its knees. He has tortured pensioners and sent many of them to their early graves. He gave a crude and painful haircut and destroyed many Ghanaian families. He has plunged over 8.5 million Ghanaians, which is 25% of Ghanaian population, into extreme poverty within 2 years. Ladies and gentlemen, this government cannot be trusted. The MPP has messed the people of Ghana up big time. Big time. And we need to be aware of this. For the good people of Ghana, we bequeath to this government. In fact, we gave them a number of good inheritance.
Maminyina ensemi so na mentwa me ho me ba diaka e wachire me de beto aso. Mami ma wakwa ba na menkoso na wase se wajebre e ka me ho e wo ha na ye hwe apomudi e ho semu a Mental Health Authority eye akwe ekuo anase asoya wo mo ehwe adwenimu hawo ene ho totoye na ene wo mo sensem bi o mo keka technologies bi o mo didi dwuma no empanyifo sinkonwa adanda ne diaba akan kasemu a ebema mo ene wo mo clients awodo nkitahudie no akoso.
Mental Health Authority atro book bi abamontin so na sa book yi womo atro no wo akan kasem book no eye eniema hodo bi a nurse ne a doctor fo a womo ehwe enuanum a womo wo adwemu yare no womo betimi akenkan na aboa womo ne omanfo a womo beje ayarehwe nkitahudie no akonkan. Specialist or psychiatric ayare sabia Dr. Peggy Esiedu ene Adom News nsentwofo atwitwe book hu komo wodi tudwa se enam se na womo eni book ibia na ya tro e wa kan mu no eyade a womo adwuma na omo ye no aya na niema bi etosini.
So usually ni say yantiasia say enese mobile ni ane ye hwe no yi doctor hwe no ontitwi ti nurse ba kotene ho nurse ba kotin ho a o chere na se eni nyina na ma time kra obe emra obe say wo hospital no kra eye bebre
wasan edi tudwa se book ya womo atroi eyade a ebeboa a doctor fo ene a nurse fo na emre dodo a womanfo ebeje ayarehwe no akoye ntem ebesan so abo mama womanfo eba ayaresabia yare awodo a womo ebeka no otwi mu no womo nso kohwe ewo brofo kasem wo book ni ma womo hu de wotwi nim no etimi aboa womanfo a womo beje ayarehwe no
nti a book hi ne kasa ho hia ene se ebe ho a so bi ba hospital I saw person church and you may be asia on me who near SSA oka. Ebe won so so yem ye sure mo no cry and shada nti ase. It is say Obiba hospital no ka say Dr. Madwemu ye me he ana metri mo hyehye me ana meye mo hyehye me a na ye pese book it me emma obia eti ase. Say me doctor meti ase. Onia or cancer assembly so enim say na epache and into book no ye chemu etro tree dear no wo na brofo dear nso wo ha e guide because ebi wo ha em se Ghana na ye ta ka brofo into utimi ti ase kakra na ya kire wo tree dear no nso so.
Ejadie mu nsem no ene fotosan for the moment Ghana de tudwa so de 1 billion Ghana cedis ena akose media said e beye no mo de beboa ama planting for food and jobs ne feto so mienu no awie peye na oman no anya emfaso ewo.
to implement the economic enclave at scale and speed. As I mentioned, Ghana Cedi's 1 billion has been allocated to Millennium Development Authority to complement PFJ 2.0. This funding will be dedicated to providing critical infrastructure, including irrigation canals, as well as cleaning and developing land for private sector actors in the EEP. Other key interventions under the Ghana Cares program, such as the completion of a foundry, will benefit from this fund. MEDA has a remarkable record from the implementation of 2 compacts under the Millennium Challenge Corporation, one of which was agriculture and agribusiness. They continue to demonstrate experience and ingenuity that will accelerate the delivery of the growth goals to transform agriculture in our country.
Yenyina so na mentwa me ho na fe agudie mu nsem akoma kraba kwa waka ensreja edura enyo bra less odebrel.
Abusama menase uguso ehwe Adom TV emra so agudie mu nsem ena enanwumre nso no yabobo ankomona no na yenhyase emfemfiri enwumre no twebo a akansie kase pa ba ko a ebetimi atodwa no CAF Women's Champions League onim se yakan wasema Chelsea ampem da ko ladies team ba ko a omo edimu ntintima pa na nei omo ene Sporting Club Casablanca ena elbow na no ena coach Joe Adakwa wode atodwa se match ba ko a ohunu se final pa ena omo elbow no.
It's like finals, very tough, and we know that we are going to have a very good game. Definitely, they know us and we know them. They have watched our game and we've been watching their games, but inshallah, we are going to win the game. Any war that you are going, you don't need defeat. So you predict when. You work for it, then you have it. So I trust my girls. They are going to work, and definitely with their hard work and determination, we can win the game. Oh, as for injuries, we don't have. Only our top striker, Mariam Ponsa, is not all that well.
Anyway, I can see I go so koso ewo Ivory Coast memo semi-final game nyame aduma nkomo ebepiem no yebe Sunday no so abro afi ma yenhwe MTN FA Cup ene a run of 64 draw no eno so etimi ekoso na say ena first year no etie Kotoko Royals ene Swedo All Blacks na bebo Emina Sharks ene Young Red Bull ena ebo Kofodia All Stars ene Soccer Intellectuals ebebo afi Gold Stars enso ene Rose Park ena ebo Mediama ene Baseke Holy Stars ebebo Fija United ene Nzima Kotoko Afeska FC enso ene FC Samates ebo Blue Skies omo ene Boboko Kofodia Sushen ene omo so betimi de apem so Dreams FC ene Susubiribi ebebo na afi Heart of Oak Never Say Die omo so ene Nania FC ede apem so Kofodia Sempe FC enso ene Atran Divisa ebebo sanso ene Nagod ene Vision FC ebebo Great Olympics ene Golden Kicks enso ede bepem so na fe Legon Cities enso ene Accra Lions omonso etime ede apem so ntiwe matches a ebetime akoso uko na hwese de tia na se teams no edoso pa nyame ya atuma ekina anopa de aka nyinada yebesan aba na yede enonso etime ede abro emrenti no amemfensi na ekina de ekoso ewo the Black Stars of Ghana so ye nei empenfo asu se ene training no ekoso kama pa na emranti a omoto nsa from nyina nso no obia abedru campa ekina anopa de beka mbia no yebesan ede enonso etime ede abro midin the Cobblestone okomankra bako amaka ensuroja adura enyono numero 1 she
Anigi semono amampani na nado danko akufuado de atodwa so mo a wo mo anwumtuo mo eni sinitwafo no wo mo sika sefata so mo saka no wo mo ensanka ne nyina no ye copywriter bebre no entua ho kayie wo se abane de sise gu akwanso a wo mo bayiri mu pa
na mampani na nado danko akufuado abra wo kasa ewa fimpino eni adonomiensa Africa Cinema Summit no wase no ekire se sedie sinitwafo bi a wɔn ɛwɔ cinema hɔnom no wɔn akatwa nsɛm na sifa ɛwɔ fam no ɛha adwempa ɛyie na ɛnam sɛ mpanyinfo pɛ sɛ sinitwa ne tumi yɛ kama na akatwa no mu tumi pagya ne nti no wɔn ɛhwɛ sɛ National Film Institute NAFTI betumi de nhyehyɛ pa egu akwa mu ɛde ama wɔn na ɔmatumi atete nipa dodoɔ na ama wɔn de wɔn ho akɔhyɛ sinitwa ne mu na tumi aboa ama film industry na safa ne ntoma pa efra.
There's one matter of deep concern for me, one I hope you would address at this summit. I must confess that too often our renowned artists who have entertained us and given us some of our best music, drama and films have not been adequately rewarded financially. We need to strengthen our copyright laws to protect our artists and assist them with marketing. For us in Ghana, government through the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture and the National Film Authority has brought together Ghanaian film producers on one hand and investors, distributors and marketers on the other to make deals to the tune of $25 million United States dollars. This investment, which has already been secured, would go a long way to strengthen the local film ecosystem. The project is expected to generate 6,000 jobs for Ghanaians.
And wachi Ghana mampanyin na Nado Dankwa Kufuado esanso so ehye film producers a ewo man Ghana na bibiman mu nyina se eya wo mbɔ homodin ase woye kyera wo mo beye no dodo na befa bibiman ye ho se de beya ebeba bibiman ho de horo papa.
The consistent favorable rankings of Ghana by the World Economic Forum Global Competitive Report as politically stable with a safe and secure environment, unique and better tourist assets and infrastructure should make the country a preferable film and tourism hub, which be leveraged by Ghanaian film producers. In furtherance of this, the National Film Authority last year launched the Shoot in Ghana campaign, which seeks to make Ghana the ideal location.
Yenyina ensem yeso na ene anwumre no sia kase bo de ba ye no ye fa ne nyina ensi edin amegeso ene abena pokoa ahwen ne madawase amamo ene hwe no wase ne so ese ensuruma season 6 enche bia ebe hyase e ho na behu adoma chede a enkwada no ewo makrao